Cuckoo. Hi everybody and welcome back to Cheza. In this video, what we want to do is create a tile set for our game Wana Savana. A tile set is going to be very instrumental when you get to level design. But before we get to creating the tile set, what we want to do is have all the images that we're going to use in our levels contained in one folder. So for that, we're going to need a special software called Texture Packer. So you can go ahead and search online for free Texture Packer. Like it says, it's a free piece of software. So you can download it and install it on your computer. Once you have launched it, this is what it looks like. So like it says here, drag and drop images here. So I'm just going to drag the images that we're going to use for our project into the software. There you go. And you can see these are the tiles for our level design and a few other objects that we're going to use in our levels. For example, the shells that Amani is going to be picking up. There are some spikes here that Amani is going to interact with, and so on and so forth. The first thing we want to do is, you can see on the left here is a list of options or how you'd like your images to appear. So first things first, we want to change a few of the settings here. So first thing, you can see like the spikes here, they're facing the right side, and here they are upright. So we're not going to allow rotation such that the spikes are upward like that, and then allow trim. Trim is like when there is unused space in the image, like that space is just discarded. Because our images are of the same dimensions, they are all 48 pixels by 48 pixels. If you allow trim, they're not all going to be uniform, so we disallow trim. Also, we want our images to be packed in sort of a square instead of one long image like this. So this long image, if you've paid attention to our previous episodes where we were doing the animations for our various assets, let's say the animation for money and also for slime and also for the shells. So when it's long like this, it's ideal for a spreadsheet because you can have the individual frames now packed in just one neat line like this. But for our purposes here, we don't really want this long image. We'd prefer it to be like a square. Let's go ahead and change. And I think, like it says here, the packer is Max Rex Packer. And like you can see here, we have all the images that we need packed in, and nice. It becomes like a rectangle now. Where it says detect identical, it just means that, for example, if you have two images of the same kind that are exactly similar, it's going to detect those images and only have one of those images appear in this compounded image. But for our project here, we don't have any that are identical. So whether this is on or off, it won't hinder us one bit. And also now you can set the maximum size of our image here. So for us, we're just going to use 2048 by 2048, which is okay. The path that you want our images to be exported to, this is the folder. Let me just set it there. And yes, now we want our final image to be a PNG image. And finally here, where it says texture name, you can pick an appropriate name for the image that you want exported. So let's just say Zawadi underscore assets. Once you're done with all the settings here, just click on export. So the next thing you want to do is launch Godot and create a new project. You actually don't need to specifically make a new project. You can just create a scene in your current project, but for my purposes here, I just prefer doing this in a brand new project. So go ahead and create a new project, and then make sure that the compound image that you created with all the assets packed into it is in the resources folder. It doesn't have to be in a special folder, it can just be in this resources folder. And what you want to do now is create a 2D scene with a node 2D like this. So what you want to do as a child of node 2D, add sprite. Then as a child of sprite, you add a static body 2D like that. And as a child of static body 2D, you add a collision shape 2D like this. And as always, you make sure that it's a rectangle shape. So go back and select sprite, and then we want to rename this to one of the images that we're going to be using for our assets for our level design. We're going to rename this to tile left top, and then now move our image here into its texture property. After that, we're going to go into region here, toggle enabled to on, and then at the bottom here we want to select texture region. So we can go ahead and zoom a bit as so, and then what we want to do is select our image here like that. So This is the image that's going to be on the top left, our tile left top. And then what we want to do for collision shape 2D, we want to scale it up so that it's just the right dimensions for our image, like this. Perfect. And just like that, we've created our very first asset for our tile map. So what we want to do is duplicate our tile left top, Control D for duplicate, and then this one we're going to name it tile middle top. And then now for our sprite, all we need to do is select a new region, like this. Once that is done, we can continue and duplicate our nodes as many times as we want. And each time, all we need to do is change the name of the node and the texture region. So we already have tile mid top. So the next one is tile right top. And the only thing we need to do is select a new texture region. This is the region for the tile left top. Go here to tile left bottom. And again, we select the appropriate region for tile left bottom, which is this region right here. Then tile mid bottom, and we go ahead and select the appropriate region for tile mid bottom, which is this region right here. Then tile right bottom, and on top here for name, I forgot to remove this too, so it's tile right top, just like that without a 2. So now that we have our top middle and top left tiles and bottom left, bottom middle and bottom right, we want to create the regions for the box, the shell, and the tag. So duplicate. This is going to be shell. That's the region for shell. It's going to be tag. This is the region for tag. And this is going to be box. And this is the region for our box. From here, we're going to save our scene. We're just going to call it tiles.tscn. Click save. Once we've saved our scene, the final step is to go ahead and click on scene, then convert to and say tileset, and then we're going to give it an appropriate name. So let's call it Zawadi tileset and click on save. And that's about it. Our tileset now is ready for use. It's what we're going to use for our level design. A very interesting part of our tutorial coming up. So that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Also, if you'd like to see more content coming up, please subscribe. And lastly, if you have friends that you think would enjoy learning about game development, please share this video with them. I'd be really appreciative if this tutorial got to as many aspiring developers as possible. Thank you, and see you in the next one.